This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast.
Daytona, the season opening event for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
Trouble turn one, head-on crash. Mason Mingus pounds the outside retaining wall. John West Townley is in it. Oh, half the field is now being taken out. Townley spins down to the bottom of the racetrack. A number of trucks involved. Sean Corr goes spinning. Parker Kligerman gets pounded. Half a dozen, more than that. Maybe 8 or 10 or 12 trucks all involved here at the bottom of the racetrack. A vicious lick and a couple of trucks on fire. Minor fires, but still burning here down on the apron of turn one.
All right, Dave, we'll let you catch your breath and kind of recap exactly who all's involved. As Dave Moody just pointed out, a serious crash coming off of turn number 2 has involved a number of trucks. Mike Bagley will also have a report on that end. Again, this is our third caution flag coming out on lap number 73, including a former winner here back in 2012, John King, just one of the trucks that are involved over there in front of you, Dave.
Ross Chastain's truck is all torn to pieces. He kind of stumbles out of the cockpit, but appears to be okay. The Brian Eichler truck has come to rest. Brennan Newberry's machine torn to pieces. There are 5, make it 6 trucks still here in front of me, at least that number, that have continued on. Parker Kligerman climbs out of his truck as well. He appears to be fine, given a look at what little remains to his race truck.
All right, and a number of those trucks trying to limp their way back around the racetrack. Worked over in front of you, Mike.
Yeah, I had 3 trucks, Jeff, that we saw come by. John West Townley was limping down to the bottom of the racetrack. Also, Tyler Reddick had a big door ding on the left side of his Ford F-150. John King got away. He, as well, making his way back to the pit lane in the garage area. Also, Sean Corr has come to a halt well out of Dave Moody's sight line down here towards me, midway down the back straightaway towards the inside of the racetrack. He has immediately climbed from his truck, walking towards the ambulance, now going back towards his truck, surveying some of the damage as the safety crews are on the scene to the Sean Corr truck. And Sean, as he has climbed from his truck.
Third caution came out. It was a big one in the Nextera Energy Resources 250. A lot of trucks caught up in this incident. The 35 of Mason Mingus hit a ton on the outside wall.
There's John King. John West Townley got some of that. You see a splitter all bent up on the left side. Happened to just inside the top 10. Did the 92 of Ross Chastain get in the back of Parker Kligerman in the 58?
It appears that's the deal. Parker Kligerman, Phil, had driven up to the outside coming off turn 4 to lead that group that Ross Chastain was in the front of, and it looked like Ross got a little overzealous into one and hit Kligerman. Maybe we can get a better look at it. Hopefully everybody's okay.
Watch that white truck on the outside. You can see right now the 92 is against the tailgate.
Yep.
I think maybe did the 58 have to go up the track a little bit, maybe change directions a little bit to avoid the 35, and when he did that, it just got him loose. Look at the job that Jeb Burton does.
Jeb Burton does an amazing job of getting through this.
As does Caleb Holman. Look at Caleb, he's right in the middle of the wreck.
That's that blue and white car, or truck, excuse me, number 75.
Another look. The 58 gets a little help from behind, turns inside and into that 35.
Yeah, wow. Hard hit for Mason Mingus.
He's a tough young man, and I know it's he's needing to be tough right now. That was a huge crash.
Look at the damage to that Mad Vapes truck, that Toyota. Tyler Young comes along, gets caught up with the 35. There's Chris Fontaine. There's another view of it. You see the contact right there.
Did you see how the 35 came, maybe was, just a quarter of a truck length up high, and maybe Kligerman had to change directions, and at the same time, Chastain gave him a bump, and it just sent him out of control.
And the bumps are what these guys have relied on to get some momentum. So, that's not unprecedented to get a bump like that.
There's some great driving that goes on during this crash, though. Joe Nemechek somehow snakes his way through this huge crash.
Did you see the safer barrier give when the 35 of Mingus hit it just about head on?
Riding along with the 31 of Ben Kennedy. amazingly unscathed through that incident.
Oh, Bubba's so close to making it, but gets caught up in it. And look at Jeb Burton, under control, makes his way through the crash.
All around him.
Same with Caleb Holman there.
This is Joey Coulter.
Boy, Joey saw pretty early. He makes contact with Brian Eichler. Ooh, and a lot of damage. Along with Brendan Newberry in the 24.
See Joe Nemechek? He just kept on driving, made it all the way through the crash.
It's experience for you.
Down and missed it, and I thought I had it clear, then someone hit me, I think right here. I don't know. I don't have a mark right. Oh, I got a little donut, so I don't know. It's just unfortunate for my guys, and the new year, new season, new truck, and spent so many hours on this, working on this Toyota Tundra to get us, you know, a good finish here at Daytona. It's that's what I'm most, you know, pissed off about, is for my guys, because and then they work their tails off day in and day out, and we end up with a wrecked Toyota Tundra. So it's Daytona, I guess. We got to dodge another one. We go to Talladega. So let's go to Martinsville. We'll put them on there.
That's Bubba Wallace. Back to the Care Center, Bob Dillner.
Under caution now here at Daytona, but good to see Mason.
Travis Kvapil in the 50. It looks as though the engine expired on that 50, and so our fourth caution has come out now.
See, that's Travis right there in that 50 truck.
I like this super zoom from Fox. Get a good view of that engine blowing up and all the oil that goes down. Obviously, NASCAR did the smart thing there to throw a caution. That's a mess.
Watch Travis very quickly get down below the double yellow line so he doesn't put any per minute. Boy, it's getting close up there.
Here comes Timothy Peters. He has the lead in the trial, but he drops down to the inside line. 4 laps of racing to go.
Now Hornaday's on the back of his teammate Truex, and they're going to try to continue what Timothy Peters started.
Here's where it's so easy just to get caught up in it. Looks like Ron Hornaday is right against that 32 truck. NASCAR will not allow him to push. He can bump, but no pushing.
Down the backstretch they go. Timothy Peters looks to check that outside line, moves way up the racetrack to try to block. Here comes the momentum of the 32 of Ryan Blaney.
Ryan Truex
up front.
There's the bump from Kyle Busch to Peters.
Kyle Busch
turned them sideways.
Got the 17 a little bit loose as they come back to the tri-oval. This time around, 3 laps to go at Daytona.
They can't make it, Phil. They're just too out of control, pushing hard, trying to get everything they can.
Now another push from Hornaday to Ryan Truex, trying to get in that momentum to get that outside line moving again.
Almost like Timothy Peters got too far in front. He needs another push from the 51 of Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch has said when the white flag flies, he'd like to be in the 2nd position. Now, Timothy Peters moves up to the track, trying to block the 32. Ryan Truex is up there, though.
You got to appreciate what Peters is doing. He's trying to block that outside lane. He is on the gas tonight. Made a smart decision to get the lead. Now he's got to try to defend it.
They're going to have a big run now. Ryan Truex has dropped all the way back to the 4th spot now. Johnny Sauter in 3rd. Kyle Busch in 2nd. 2 laps to go for Timothy Peters.
That's what Kyle Busch wants right now. He doesn't want that truck on the outside. He wants to be able to jump to the outside and maybe use that momentum from the outside line. You see him dancing around now. Thought about going to the outside that time.
Was that a fake on Peters to try to get him to wonder what Kyle Busch has in mind for this last lap?
Can the momentum come back again on the high side? Sure enough, here comes Ryan Truex in the 32. Timothy Peters has a truck length in front of the 51 of Kyle Busch.
What a push Truex is getting from his teammate there. Hornaday all over the back of him.
Coming out of turn number 4. This time by, they're going to see the white flag.
Timothy Peters is driving out of his mirror right now.
White flag in the air. One more time around Daytona.
White flag, one more.
Peters holding his line on the bottom of the racetrack.
Looks like Kyle Busch has fallen off of Peters' tailgate a bit. And that outside line can't keep up the pace right now.
I think that's what Kyle Busch wants. He wants to be able to. Now, here comes Truex up next, side by side with Kyle.
What a run for Truex.
Truex with another run as they enter turn number 3. He's side by side for 2nd. Kyle Busch is boxed in as they come through 3 and 4. Now he's got a little bit of an advantage. Kyle Busch, does he have the momentum? Coming out of turn number 4. He makes the move to the outside. Timothy Peters checks him up high as they come to the stripe. Side by side for the win. It's going to go to Kyle Busch as he crossed the stripe.
Jimmy Willer gets turned around past the start-finish line.
A perfectly timed pass for Kyle Busch. And of course, we got to apologize. A little emotion there in the radio.
What an amazing run to the checker.
Boy, Timothy Peters did all he could do to try to block Kyle Busch. He had to give him a little bit of room.
And that's all Kyle Busch usually needs, is just a little bit of room. He fell off the back of Peters' Phil coming off turn 4. Got a little bit of push from behind, and that's all he needed to propel his truck to victory lane.
He said he wanted to be second when the white flag flew. He said he needed to time it out just right. You can't get any closer than what they just did. 17 1/1000ths of a second separated the two.
Remember, we talked about youth versus experience. We had 3 of our more experienced drivers finish 1, 2, 3.
You see the gap right there? I think Kyle got that on purpose to get off of Timothy Peters. Use the run to get to the outside of him. Timothy did all he could do. He tried to swoop over and get a push from Sauter for the win. It just didn't work.
Look how close the finish is at Daytona once again. 17 1/1000ths of a second.
Wow, unbelievable.
I love trucks.
I thought it was going to be 3 wide for a moment.
We've seen that before a few times.
I love trucks.
Look at that.
Incredible. That's what 17 thousandths of a second looks like.
About 4 feet from the bumper of the 51 to the bumper of the 17. Kyle Busch has been able to figure out his celebration a few different times in the Camping World Truck Series. This is win number 36 for him. Let's hear from the winning crew chief. He's with Bob Dillman.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.